or it is something you have done
The
from
order
your
mediation, it
organization?
was a freelancing project, and the other one, doctor application, was the office project.
Okay, fine.
So,
So, as I can see in your resume, you have mostly worked with healthcare domain, right?
Healthcare and OTT platform also I have worked. I have in my first company.
Yeah, OTT also I have seen, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it is a recent project because date is not mentioned here.
I think it is a mention Idea Movies and TV. That one, the
Yeah.
2 year before I have done that project in my first company.
Okay.
hmm,
Fine.
so
So, in all of these projects, so what was the technology stack mostly you were comfortable with or you were using?
Like I have used Kotlin, mostly Kotlin I have used, and architecture, MBVM architecture I have used, and older project like
Okay.
OTT one we have done in Java.
Okay.
So
So now, if I ask you to estimate something, suppose I have some application which is developed in Java,
Okay.
and I want to migrate that to Kotlin.
Okay.
So, what and all few of the parameters or criteria that would you would be considering while doing that migration?
Okay.
So, I ask you to first give me some effort estimation.
Mhm.
Again, I want you to migrate that also.
Okay. See, first of all, the already developed application is in Java, so API and backend thing is already there, right? Only we need to change
Yeah.
our side the Java code to Kotlin. So if we are going to like Kotlin is interoperable, so we can do Java code, convert Java code to Kotlin, but that will be a not a good process. Whether we can create with same package name, we can create different application, or in different branch we can add all the dependency with the Kotlin, and we can start from the scratch. That won't take much time because from backend team everything is there and UI is also there. We need to just convert the code to write the logic in Kotlin, so it won't take much time. I mean, if it is it will depend on project how many screens are there. Even if it is I don't think it won't take more than 1 month.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know on what basis you have given me time estimate of 1 month.
Yeah.
But my question was mostly related to what and all parameters or criteria that you would set while giving me the estimation. Because if it's a small project, then 1 month would be
No, no.
quite a high
Yeah, yeah.
timeline,
If
right?
I
Yeah.
told you, na, it will depend on the screens. How many screens are there? If it is 4-5 screen, then it will be within a week. Yeah, we can do it. Okay, no, because everything if we having already created, only we need to migrate. That won't take much time. Even that made to my home, that application I have done it in 1 week, because the API was already done it, and I just created a structure everything. And because in Kotlin it's easy to do all those things, like no need to create a model class by own. It will create library itself create, so it won't take much time to, just we need to show the data.
Okay. Got it. What is the main advantage that you see in Kotlin compared to Java?
See, first,
I'll give you one data point. Maybe you can explain me in terms of null check,
yeah, yeah,
because null pointer is one of the
yes,
exception that we get in Java quite
yeah,
often. We have to handle it,
yeah.
right? How do you get benefit using Kotlin?
See, like if I mean, if application user is using the application, and in between from the backend side some data comes null, so that time application will get crash and it will say a null pointer exception. Okay, But in a Kotlin, we having LBS operator. With the LBS operator, even data will be a null. So it will show in place of that data, it will show null, but it won't get crash. Okay. So that thing will be a good. And other thing, like it's a concise, so code will be get reduced and your application size will be get reduced. And it's a interoperable, like you can change the Java code to Kotlin. And there will be other
apart from
like it has inbuilt Kotlin coroutines feature, and like they having a typecast also. Yeah, mostly the null pointer exception and then concise. This will be a very good feature, because both of them depend on the your application performance, and it will, like your size will be more, so user want, because if size is more, so sometime data in villages and all network will be slow, so they cannot download that much size. If it is 5 to 10 MB is easy, everybody can download.
Okay.
Yeah, and suppose in
I'll come to that performance improvement later on. But before that, I have a few more questions on on few of the projects that you have worked on. So you said you mostly used MVVM, and also I see that 2 years back you used MVC design patterns, right? So can you explain me what benefit you got in MVVM compared to MVC? And also you can explain me one of the use case, in which you will be using MVC, and even today, and you will be not choosing MVVM.
Okay. So compared to MVC, MVVM having lots of benefits. Okay. And like it having view and view model and model. So view through user can interact through the view, and the view model between bridge between model and view. Okay. And the view model, it hold the data and it aware your life cycle. So I mean, suppose you are rotating your screen, so as in Android, once if you rotate your screen, it's recreate your screen. Okay, so that time your data will get vanish. So here view model will be holding your data, and it again you can get the same data. Okay.
Yeah. So do you see some major benefit in terms of handling some huge data set? Suppose you have some
actually see in MVVM
hierarchical kind of view.
Like MVVM code will be loose couple. Okay, suppose I mean you have integrated one feature, and if feature wanted to more feature in same, so then you can easy to integrate, and there will be like nowadays I mean developer also writing the test cases, that is also easy to write in MVVM pattern if we are using.
Okay. Fine. And how about working with some mobile phone sensors? So suppose I ask you to read some of the data from few of the mobile phone sensors like gyro, accelerometer.
Okay.
Do you have some experience on that?
See, as of now, there will be no requirement. So I just studied somewhere here and there, but I have not implemented. During my college time, I have made one applications. Okay. So for KPIT, I got placement in KPIT. So that was the vehicle waste company and automotive. So for that we have made one feature that is, I think, is implemented in Mercedes. Okay, and that was the like while rotating the vehicle, it should rotate his headlights also. Most of the time it focus on straight, but instead of straight it should rotate as per the vehicle rotation. So what we have done, near to the handle we have kept sensor, and based on the sensor, as sensor handle is getting rotate, his headlight will be also getting rotate.
Okay.
So which
sensor do you use in that?
In that we had we use Arduino, and in the sensor I forgot what sensor we have used. Some rotation sensor was there. Okay, motion sensor.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's fine.
And what
was the team size in all of these projects that you have worked on?
We was to
I see it's team of three, so mostly in all the projects. So I'm a bit confused. So what do you mean by team of three? So is it like three developers?
Yeah, three developer.
or
Only developer I have mentioned. 3 Android developer was there.
Okay.
And
what was your roles and responsibilities in all of these projects?
See, as my roles and responsibility was like there will be a lots of module. Okay, so many modules I have done, some module other people has done. Okay, so from like we started many application from scratch. Okay, so once we started scratch, so because there will be a lots of screen in medical, there was lots of screens, so we have taken screen, and then we start working on, we are getting data from the backend, and we have made the design as per the requirement, and we was just fetching data and sending data to the server.
Okay.
Fine.
And do you also have some experience of working as an individual contributor? So suppose I assign you to one of the team.
Yes. Actually,
which you only have to handle everything.
From backend I don't have knowledge, but front end, all those things related to mobile application, everything I can do that, because most of the time when I have done freelancing project, I have done it alone. There was no any teams, only I was there.
Okay. And another thing, how do you handle any kind of reviews that you get in Google Play Store, Google Store,
What?
Play Store? So
how to
you
get some review, right, in Play Store?
We get some
reviews from the user.
Review. Yeah.
So how do you handle them? Do you have any kind of analytics tool which tells you about some of the review, or how does it work?
See, like once user giving the review to the Play Store, so you having your console Play Store account. Okay, so in that you can handle, if you wanted to I think delete, you can delete, make it spam, and it will get deleted. And other than in that only you can handle, you can get all the reviews, everything there only inside your account.
Okay. But my question is more related to some of the analytics tool. You also mentioned that you
Firebase.
have something with
Through the Firebase you can get you should integrate with Firebase, and all the detail, how many downloads, everything, every month you can get it through the Firebase analytics.
So you mentioned about Adobe Analytics, right?
Adobe Analytics was we have integrated to the Idea Movies and TV. Suppose user navigating to screen by screen, and suppose he has added one movie at to watch, and he was watching some movie and he left. So all those information it will capture to the Adobe Analytics. How many user, new, old, everything it will capture through the Adobe Analytics.
Okay. So how does the integration work? So you use any SDK or
we have used we have used Adobe Analytics, and in that we have integrated every screens, all those related to that capture data, and then in dashboard client get all the data.
Okay. And during the web service integration, have you worked with any PFX based certificate authentication?
Yeah, SSL pinning we have used, and token based we have used authentication.
Okay. So can you explain more about SSL pinning?
It's like like you are using your application, and from the backend we are getting data, but in between suppose hacker comes, so he can take your data, everything. Okay, so it will there will be, if you are using SSL pinning, so hacker won't get any information regarding that. It I can say like he will be not able to access the data and API.
But how do you
protect
enable that SSL pinning?
it will protect your API's things. In Android application we having in manifest file, and there will be one XML, so we should write all those things SH256 pinning, and in that if both will get matched, then only he can get access, otherwise he cannot access.
Okay. And regarding authentication, so which authentication you use? So is it social media based or different kind of authentication?
Like login, you're asking login?
Yeah.
Login, till now I have used only Google login and mobile based login, Gmail.
Okay. Can you explain how does it work?
See, first of all, if you are using Gmail Gmail login based application, so for that you need to based on your SHA1 key and your package, Google will give one JSON file. That file you need to integrate in your you need to add in your application, and then you need to add Google Play dependency in your application, and then based on that you can access.
How the process works? So there has to be some process, right?
See, once you will click on that, it will Google see, like we are creating JSON key, JSON file. So in that there will be authentication will be based on your package name. They will provide some keys. Based on that key, your application will be able to log in with Gmail, and then you can do all those things. Like you can get the data of the user, and user can log in.
There's a process about creating some access token, auth code, refresh token. Do you know about those?
That will be actually in our application, like from backend we as user login with mobile number, he'll get some token. Okay, first of all we have one API. Once he'll get successful login, that API will get the success token. Okay, and in the through that token we can pass in every API, so we can access other API also.
No, API access is fine, but to make the Google login work, you have to have some kind of auth code.
That auth code we need to generate, and if we want to use anywhere, we can use.
How do you generate the auth code?
We need to write some set of code to generate the auth code. Okay, and then we will get Google provides some code, dummy code, that we need to use.
Okay. Fine. Also, I see you use the library like Picasso, Glide, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give you one use case. So moments. I want to develop some application which is mostly for rural India, can just say that sometimes in some villages network connectivity would be bad, but in some connectivity would be good. Where they would be, logging few complaints to the authority or civic body, you can say.
Mhm.
And they will be clicking some images, videos, and all.
Okay.
And then they will be uploading that to the backend server.
Yeah.
And yeah. Nowadays, if you see, if we have mobiles like with more than 40 megapixel, 20 megapixel,
Yeah.
like everyone can afford that, right? So if you pay 10, 20K, I think you can get them.
Yeah.
So consider a situation where you have some bad internet connectivity and you are using an high-end device. Definitely, it will not improve your network quality. Internet will produce some high-quality images or video.
Mhm.
How do you ensure that you are uploading them without breaking or crashing the application, or make sure that the user is able to upload them?
See, while we are taking picture, so inside we can reduce the bitmap through the glide, and then once it will, we should set some size. If it is more than that, we should reduce. If it is not more than that pixel, we can directly upload. Okay, so based on that, we can do it. Recently, this problem happened in our application. Okay, so we have fixed some size, and in the condition was like, suppose some pixel will be there, and based on the pixel, if more than that pixel, it will get reduced. If it is not, then it will directly upload to the server.
Okay. And if in case you're getting ANR,
Okay.
then how do you debug that issue?
See, currently I don't think anybody will get ANR because all the devices having very good RAM size. Okay. And if we will get such kind of things, then we can use some crash analytics, in that we can get the log, because debugging is not possible to. So with that we can manage.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, I think I have pretty much covered everything that you have there in your resume. So you have any question for me?
As of now, nothing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for your
Yeah,
time.
thank you.
Sharan, I think I'll be sharing the feedback to Shankar. Yeah.
Okay, boss. Yeah, sure.
Thanks. Bye bye.